Hello, today we're looking at using unit rates. This is similar to what we did yesterday, but we're going to start with unlocking the problem. So the Champion family is traveling from Arizona to Texas. On the first part of the trip, they drove 500 miles in 10 hours, and if they continue driving at that same rate, how many hours will it take them to drive 750 miles? So if we look down here at setting the problem up, they're doing this in miles per hour. So we may have, it's 500 miles in 10 hours. So we would drive 750 miles in how many hours? So this is not one of those problems where we can easily multiply 500 times a number to get 750. So this is one of those problems like I shared in our Zoom meeting where you have to reduce it to a unit rate first of all. So 500 over 10 would reduce down to, if we divide them by tens, that would be 50 miles in 1 hour, so 50 miles per hour. So now I'm going to figure out if I do 750 divided by 50, what's that other number going to be? So, or what would I be multiplying by? So in this case, if I would do 750 divided by 50, I would find out that it's 15. So our numerator and denominator have to both be multiplied by 15s, because I know that 50 times 15 will give me the 750. 1 times 15 will give me my mystery number. So that helps me to figure out that the numerator and denominator both multiply by 15. The unknown value would be 15. So it's going to take them 15 hours to drive the 750 miles. So first you just have to reduce that down to a unit rate, and then you're able to easily figure out what you could multiply by to get that mystery number. Another way to do these problems is something called a bar model. It's not my favorite, but I wanted you to be aware of what those look like in case they talked about bar models or showed you a bar model at some point. So in this case, Kenyon earns $105 for mowing 3 lawns. So they want to know what would he earn for mowing 10 lawns. So we draw these bars, and we know that he mowed 3 lawns to get $105. So if he would mow 10, these boxes each stand for a lawn, what would he earn for mowing the 10 lawns? So I have to first figure out what one lawn would be. What would each one of these boxes, what number would go into each box? So if I would divide that out, 105 divided by 3, that would give me $35 per lawn. So each one of these boxes has a 35 in it. So if I know that all 35s in these 10 boxes, 35 times the 10 is going to give me $350 for mowing 10 lawns. Not a bad little paycheck. So I wanted you to also see that we're not always going to be working with whole numbers. So in this case here, I could easily reduce the 6/8 down to 3/4, and then I could multiply the 4 times a 5 to get 20 and find out what that top number would be. But they did this a little differently. They did 6 divided by 8 and 8 divided by 8 and got a decimal instead, which we know 3 over 4 3/4 is the same thing as 75 hundredths. But they did this in decimal form. So now if I look here, I know that 1 times 20 will give me 20. So 75 hundredths times the 20 will give me that mystery number on top. So that would be a 15 if I multiplied that out, which we could do that when we easily reduced it to 3/4 up here. 8 would reduce to 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 6 would reduce to 3, and 3 times 5 would give me a 15. So you don't always have to use decimals, but you can. This example over here, it's easier if I put it into terms of like buying something. So in this case, if I would think if I'm buying 2 apples for $1.25, what would it cost to buy 3 apples? So if I reduce this down first, I divide by 2s. So figuring out what 1 apple would cost. So if I divide by 125 divided by 2, I wouldn't get a rounded number like we would use in money, but it would be 625 thousandths, which would round off to 63 cents. So if you think of it in terms of buying something like fruit, 1 apple would cost 63 cents. So now I can just do 1 times 3 to get the 3 apples. So 63 cents or 625 thousandths times 3 would give me the 1 and 875 thousandths, or like $1.88 for 3 apples. So I just wanted you to see that you're not always going to have whole numbers. There could be decimals involved every once in a while, but that's how you would break it down. So there you are. Have good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.